Hi, Slawomir. Good to see you again. And
Hi, Peter. Dobar dan.
Dobar dan. On our technological conference, this is the 23rd in the row, so quite a tradition. And Juniper, as our valuable partner, always a part of this event. So today we will be talking about very interesting topic, which is SASE and how Juniper sees this journey into this part of the technology. So, Slawomir, if you are ready, just go ahead with your topic and the presentation.
Thank you for the kind introduction and for invite. It's a pleasure to speak next time on the SmartCom Open Day conference. Just to introduce myself, for those who don't know me, my name is SŁawomir Karaś. I am the system engineer in Juniper, looking after the region Central and Eastern Europe, including Slovenia, of course. And today I will speak about the concept of SASE, which is Secure Access Services Edge. What is it? In which situation it may be beneficial for use? Of course, in which not, because as every solution, it has its benefits and disadvantages. And also I will discuss how Juniper offering, which is called Juniper Threat Aware Network, fits in this portfolio, how our road to SASE looks like. This is also the opportunity to see what are some ideas, direction inside the company, maybe plans for some new products. Hence, this disclaimer applies. First, let's discuss how network security technologies evolved through the time. Because if we see from this, if we take a look from this perspective, we can distinguish a few stages. First stage, we call it now legacy, or legacy perimeter countermeasures were relevant. So where the stateful firewall, IPS, UTM technologies were at their peak. Product-wise, Juniper SRX product line fitted perfectly in this portfolio. We have a very good feedback, of course, not only from us, but also from the end customers, as well as from entities taking care about testing the solutions. So we got very good results in ICSA labs, in NSS and their successor CyberRate. But through the time, most of applications shifted into the web mode. So most of the traffic right now we see not only web-based, but also encrypted, SSL, TLS, and so on. So this is where there are some technologies like next-generation firewall, advanced threat prevention started to be relevant. And in terms of products, this is where the solution called Connected Security comes into play, where it is essential to monitor what kind of threats are transmitted in users' traffic. So in case we can decrypt the traffic, we can monitor what's inside, we can even extract files, put them in detonation chamber, which are sandbox solutions, and then we can react accordingly. In cases where decryption is not possible, then we still have some tools available. Like, for example, we can monitor activity of the endpoints, and when the symptoms of infection will be unveiled, then we can react accordingly. Also, we provide here some automation engine where, for example, in case we detect infected endpoint, we can quarantine it. We can make it in two areas of the network. One is data center, where we can provide isolation on the edge of data center, on the perimeter between physical and virtual world, as well as inside hypervisor, so we can apply some so-called microsegmentation. On the other hand, Of course, still perimeter protection applies, regardless it is a perimeter of the big campus or just a small branch. This is why we call it threat-aware network, because we are monitoring either directly for threats transmitted in the network traffic or just for symptoms of infection of the endpoints. What belongs, because connected security is not a product, it is a solution consisting of multiple products which may be integrated with each other. Portfolio consists of management software on premises and soon in the cloud. On the security, advanced security products like sandboxes, which are already available in the cloud as well as on premises, and from enforcement points, starting from flagship security enforcement points, which are SRXs, and also as the networking vendor, we can afford to enforce security on the other networking elements like routers, like switches for campus and data center, and even wireless access points. This soon will happen. Wherever Juniper doesn't reach, we have our technology partners to integrate with some endpoint protection areas as well. So this is about connected security, but later on it turned out that most of web-based applications, it was more convenient to their developers to host them from the cloud. So this is where another concept went into the game, like SASE. There is now a big noise in the industry about SASE. We are in the phase of dynamic changes, ongoing consolidations on the market. So let's take a look before we see the product. Let's take a look from the broader perspective. The term SASE, Secure Access Services Edge, was coined by Gartner just 2 years ago, and in one of their blog posts, they introduced some division of WAN edge services. They provide categorization. The left category is heavy branch. This is the device in the branch which provides all the features at the same time. So this is for WAN connectivity, as well as for providing some advanced security services on the same platform, which on the one hand is very good. However, there are some disadvantages right now, because we can observe that the bandwidth for WAN network is growing significantly. Right now, it is not so rare, even for residential access, to have the link exceeding 1 gigabit per second, which is also good. However, it costs. It provides additional computing load on the devices to keep up with the performance for advanced security services. So heavy branch devices need to be more powerful, so also more expensive. So as the other approach, Gartner proposed using thin branch complemented with something. Thin branch device tends to be cheaper because it provides some simplified services as secure, reliable, flexible WAN connectivity. But what about security? Well, security, according to Gartner, should be offloaded somewhere. Of course, looking forward, this will be the cloud. So Secure Access Services Edge stands for the complex of different advanced security services, which should be preferably served in the as a service mode, so hosted as a service in the cloud. This is the approach of Gartner, and both ways even are not contradictory. So there is a space in our portfolio, for example, for both ways. Heavy branch devices are SRXs. On the other hand, thin branch, this is our new acquisition of SD-WAN solutions, 128T technologies, and then they can be complemented with SASE. We will focus during this conversation on the SASE side. Even in the same organization, both models can coexist, especially when there are branches which should have their autonomous enforcement. of the security and advanced inspection of the traffic. Another interesting view from Gartner is an illustration of life cycle of enterprise networking technologies. And we can see that currently SASE was placed here in so-called peak of inflated expectations. And literally, yes, right now in the industry, there is a lot of hype. So what will come next, we can see here through of disillusionment. This will be kind of a reality check. And this is the stage where proposals of the vendors, concepts, maybe proof of concept installations will face the reality, sometimes painfully. So this is the stage where there will be some vendors will stop to exist, for example. There will be ongoing consolidation on the market. And then there will be next stage when solutions which will survive will become to be mature. And also, according to Gartner, they are expecting SASE to be mature technology within 5 to 10 years, which means that this is a long-term process. Another interesting perspective, well, I couldn't resist to introduce also some local view. Because on the other hand, what analysts and maybe customers from the US who are really enthusiastic about SASE concept, this is one thing. However, we should include also some healthy dose of skepticism, and this applies also to general discussion about the adoption in the cloud in the region. Because yes, cloud may be good. There are some advantages. This is the simplification. This is for example, offloading the administrative burden into the cloud for sometimes heavy management systems. Management systems in the cloud and security services in the cloud may also provide some features which will not be available in on-premises form factor, or maybe just more difficult or slower to implement. There might be some cost savings. However, this in case of some cloud applications, this might be also not so easy to demonstrate. On the other hand, there are some very serious considerations of risks. For example, we have the right to ask very relevant questions about cloud adoption. How much of my privacy I need to sacrifice in order to use the cloud? What will happen, for example, if the cloud goes away, or the service in the cloud might be potentially compromised? This is not impossible. Do I have some plan B implemented for such catastrophic scenario? Is the solution which I am considering in this solution, devices will work autonomously without cloud? How to regain control over devices or visibility in the network? So we have to find really right balance and then confront this knowledge with our needs, our requirements, maybe the pain points, some problems which we want to solve, or maybe we want to gain some optimizations. So with this in mind, let's take a look on the way to SASE of Juniper. Let's repeat this. This is the process. This is not the immediate step, and as well, it applies also to our organizations who are adapt the SASE concept. Maybe services hosted in the cloud would not be possible to use for some customers who are very strict requirements for their confidentiality. Or maybe the most reasonable approach for some customers might be going hybrid with on-premises as well as using cloud-based services at the same time. So how the Juniper road to SASE looks like. Soon, on the end of quarter 4 of this year, we will introduce publicly SASE portal, which first will provide centralized management and monitoring for Juniper security infrastructure. Basically, this will be security director in the cloud. As the next stage, we will introduce later on the security service in the cloud, where the traffic can be redirected to the cloud, and then some security, according to configured security policy, will apply. This will allow to transit to these cloud-based services for some customers at their own speed, because at the same time, we will be keeping and developing on-premises management. So really, there will be a choice for all of the customers, even for non-cloud adopters. Of course, they will not use SASE in this case. However, they can still keep with our management systems. So the current offering looks following for management systems. For security-oriented use cases, the primary management platform is still Security Director. With management, monitoring, logging capabilities. For SD-WAN related use cases, we provide cloud-only management, which is called MIST, and then now we can monitor SRXs. Soon we'll be able to manage SRX platforms. And there is also interesting SLA monitoring here, and using artificial intelligence in order to quickly nail down some issues with how applications perform over one network, and virtual assistant, which will even guide us through the root cause analysis and propose some corrective actions. Just to complement this, for advanced security users, there is a Juniper Security Analytics, which is advanced on-premises logging, security visualization, correlation engine without direct management capabilities. Also, as a reminder, Security Director, as a primary management system for security, provides tools to configure different aspects of security, like firewall, IPsec configuration, NAT, IPS, UTM, threat intelligence, SecIntel integration with sandboxes, along with the tools to do some monitoring and working with the information, working with logs, creating reports. And now we will release it as a service, meaning that there will be a service, the Juniper portal in the cloud. This will be This will be hosted on Amazon Web Services, and when it will be available in EMEA region, in order to satisfy GDPR requirements, of course, it will be hosted somewhere in the region, inside the European Union. This is not simple porting on-premises system into the cloud. Security Director is significantly rewritten underneath using cloud-native technologies in order to provide bigger scale, to scale horizontally, and to provide performance and reliability with the level of cloud, and the cloud grade, let's say. Also, the team responsible for this adapted DevOps approach, meaning that rolling out new features will be faster, not in the let's say quarterly or even on rare occasions with releasing of the new software versions. No, new versions of the new features will be continuously unrolled when it's convenient, even in the weekly or few weekly time frame. So Security Director still remains, regardless it's in the cloud or on premises, remains as a central management system for Juniper security infrastructure, regardless it's physical or virtual, and resides on-prem or in the cloud. The feature which will come next, but it's not. It looks quite easy. However, it's very difficult in implementation. Will be syncing security policy across all management platforms, because it might be quite challenging. What will happen when the change in the configuration will be introduced just in one place? Like, for example, out-of-band changes done manually from command line, or maybe with using some automation engines. So this will come not in the first phase, but later on. In terms of logging, logs from the security infrastructure will be transmitted, streamed directly to the cloud from devices over TLS, so of course in the secure manner. However, this can be challenging from the when it comes to the higher volume of logs. This is why among the next products, we plan to introduce also kind of thin clients, which will absorb the logs. This will be on-premises product, extract interesting metadata, and then send them to the cloud. It will also provide kind of buffer for situations where connection to the cloud could be lost. Of course, also it's worth to excuse me, English pronunciation sometimes for Slavic people is quite challenging, so apologies for this. We will introduce this logging client after introducing the initial cloud portal. As a next stage, there will be a security engine in the cloud, which we may basically translate to the feature parity of existing SRX appliances. So the features which we know from SRXs will be available in the cloud, and there will be some additional features coming from third-party partners. However, right now I'm not allowed to reveal what these partnerships are. And SASE may be used as the independent solution, just as a security management, maybe when it's convenient to redirect traffic from our location and tunnel it to the cloud, in case some additional services which will be available over there. However, if you recall this Gartner diagram with heavy CPE and light CPE plus SASE, SASE will complement perfectly lightweight SD-WAN solutions. So when we don't want or just cannot do advanced inspection on the branch device, it might be easier to tunnel traffic through the WAN network, even through the internet to the SASE portal, and then undertake some advanced security inspection. This may also provide the ability to not only to create security policy from the users to the applications in the internet, but as well to create security policy for traffic between branches in case it's coming through the headquarters or future through the SASE portal. However, let's keep in mind still that there is for SD-WAN oriented use cases with one-way T routers or as well as SRXs, there is another cloud-based management system available already, which is focusing on the performance of the applications. And we are measuring what impacts level of or perception of the users, how they perceive how good is the WAN service and what may impact this perception negatively, like gateway health, like link health, or maybe specific applications experience. And there are broken down some problems also which may impact this perception, which may impact all of these factors. So it provides to the administrator, the operator on the network, a very broad view where the problems are happening. For example, if the Zoom or Teams call is not going well, where the problems occurred on the wireless layer, maybe on the wired layer, in the LAN network, or maybe between the user and the cloud, or maybe as it is usual in the life, it might be also that problems are coming in the group concurrently. They exist in few places. So virtual assistant will guide administrator to quickly nail down the problems and even to will propose corrective action. So this is about MIST. So as a conclusion, let's keep in mind that there are some benefits from using cloud-based services and from using SASE. This might be security effectiveness, additional services, which we may not afford to run them on premises, for example. There might be some operational benefits. There might be some features which are available in the cloud only. For example, in one edge use cases with artificial intelligence engine helping the administrator. On the other hand, let's still keep in mind some risks and some potential disadvantages of using cloud-based services. Let's confront it with own requirements, pain points, problems which we are trying to solve. We, as Juniper, we would appreciate if you will be among vendors which you will consider seriously, regardless which option you will choose. Whether you are eager cloud adopter, it's easier for you to leverage this type of services, or maybe you are on-premises user, or maybe you will choose the hybrid way. Regardless which way you choose, it should be the path which is better for you. And we are providing some tools and building blocks in all of these paths. So with this, let me wish you a nice event. Should you have any questions or comments, please send them to me directly or pass them through SmartCom colleagues. And I'm handing over to you, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you, Slawomir. Great presentation. I'm pretty sure that there will be questions, and anyway, they can send it, as you mentioned, to you or to us. So we will be glad to answer any questions. For today, Slawomir, I would like to thank you, and hopefully see you next time live.
Yes, I'm looking forward as well to visit.
Yeah.
Hvala.